to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now then, when we last left off, Deku, he had just introduced everyone to Shell. Now, people, they're still somewhat confused on the name. What does Shell even mean? Well, it's somewhat fitting, I guess. I mean, we did see him being born, basically. Born? Whenever he turned to dust and reformed. I mean, I guess you're right, but I don't think that's how it works. Well, it's kind of strange, though. What is it? Well, it's just... He looks exactly how he does last time we saw him, but he's just... He looks more decrepit and less there. Less there? Well, just that whenever we saw him, he wasn't as... He didn't have all this stuff floating around him or any, well, gaps in his memory. Tomura Shigaraki. That's what he said. Now, with that, this is whenever they're kind of still confused on it. As Deku would just quite simply ask Karagiri if he can give him a essentially helping hand. They want to try and bring Shigaraki around the city to figure out what's been going on with his memories, or at least try and restore some of them. So he would open a portal. Deku, he would get his disguise ready by just quite simply slicking back his hair and putting on his mask along with some glasses. Now then, with that, Mina, I want to say, after all this time, she'd finally be able to put her hair into a ponytail, or at least a bun. And she would do so, and she would actually just put on a face... Well, she'd basically put makeup on to... I want to say either lighten her skin tone or darken it to where it would look more... Well, not pale, but... Because I know like a pale pink is somewhat like a sunburnt. That's actually a very good question. Basically, she'd look like a little sunburnt, but with doing that, she would also slip on some glasses. And they would just walk through. Kirishima and Shinsho are getting ready as they would also come through after they would get their disguises and their outfits set up. Now, with that, they would all be walked through, and Deku, he would see the beach they did their training on. Huh. This is weird. I know what you mean. Different, yet the same. No, not that. Different lifetimes. Same generation. Same year. Same decade. Not even sure how to describe it, really. Do you remember this place, Shell? As Deku would see this thing just looking around. It's very questionable. It's very weird. It's somewhat creepy. This thing would immediately just bring its hands up as it starts pulling things towards it. You can see the sand moving underneath, but not just that. There's dust moving towards him. This thing begins to suck up the dust, as whenever it is done, it would just say, better. Eat more. Memory. Remember. Now, with that, Deku's Summon trees. Remember memory. Memory. Okay. I think I know what's happening. Shell, can you use Decay? As this thing would immediately just try touching something. It would grab an object with all 5 fingers, but as soon as it does so, nothing happens. Ah, god damn it. Wait, is that good or bad? Well, I think I know what it means. I want to say he's hollow, but I'm not sure. Shell, how much dust do you usually turn into? Used. Big pile. Little now. Okay. I think I get what he's saying. Are you sure? Positive. Because he would slip off his glove and immediately just bring it up to the wall. He immediately starts decaying it as it turns into dust. Shell would run over and immediately just start sucking up and absorbing the dust. The dust. Now then, with that, you could see him visibly change, well, not appearance, but completely the way he's acting. As he's acting a little more normal. Where am I? What happened to me? Mr. Shigaraki? Midoriya? Where? What? What? This is gonna be hard to explain. What do you remember? Remember? I remember. Remember? I. I remember signing up for something. I remember experiments. I don't understand. What happened? Is that all you remember? I can't remember anything before that. Okay, what the fuck is still wrong with you? Whatever you did, your sins, you called them. You wanted to repent for them, so you signed up for something that was illegal. But I'm hero, aren't I? You were. They faked your death. Not just that. You've been dead legally for nearly what? How long do you want to say, Mina? 8, 5, somewhere between 8 to 5 years. Allegedly, and you've been reported as the Decayed Ghost. Decayed Ghost? Yes. You tear apart anything you see and you can disappear into the wind. Along with the fact that you once took down an entire city block. I'm not sure what you did that day. But whatever it was, it somewhat messed you up even more. Do you know what happened? No. No. You're messing with me. Mr. Shigaraki, we've spent the last couple years of our lives looking for you. As Mina would speak up saying, they've nearly died countless times just to even figure that out. Not just that. If you found out exactly what we had to do just to see you here standing in front of us, you probably wouldn't even be able to look us in the eyes properly. What? Do you remember All Might? All Might. Nana. Nana. God damn it. Tomura. Do you remember anything about One for All? As he somewhat freezes. One for All. Nana's quirk? No, the one All Might can pass down. Mina has it now. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with you, but we will get you. You're gonna get better, okay? We'll figure this out. As Deku, he would somewhat try taking Shigaraki around the city and avoiding cops. People are somewhat concerned and confused as they're seeing all these hooded figures walking around together. They would try being pulled aside, but Deku, he would just immediately just talk with the cop and convince him that nothing's wrong. In fact, everything's fine. But the cop's kind of confused as to why Deku's just not essentially taking off his hood. He would immediately reach for it as Deku would just grab his hand, telling him that his hood hides something very disgusting. Now, if you take it off, it's not only going to get worse, but it would also possibly hurt quite a lot of people. That's what I call it. The tendrils on the back of my head, they don't like sunlight. In fact, they hate them. Last time someone pulled off my hood, I accidentally... Oh god. As Deku somewhat starts acting hysterical. The officer just immediately just brings his hands up, letting them all pass. As Deku would walk by, Mina would just immediately just say, the tendril one, are you serious? What? Oh, come on. You gotta admit, that's better than all the other ones I can come up with. Yeah, not exactly sure how a sapient chimp can get on the back of your head. Hey, quirks can do anything nowadays. Oh, shut up. As they'd be walking through the city a little bit more, and eventually they would have to go back to base. Now, Deku, he would be told by Kirigiri that, well, basically just to look on the news. Deku would look on it, as he would quite simply just see Sir Night-Eye has been brought to the authorities. Just a little differently than they ever thought. Long story short, he was found, yes, but delivered to 3 separate police stations. Now, with that, Deku, he would finally get a call, as he would answer it, and it is Sasaki. He would just say that they have a little bit of a, well, problem. What is it? Well, you see, I'm still trying to figure this all out in my head. How did a famous gunner get involved with All for One? I mean, I heard the story about how you killed All Might, but how exactly did that go? Well, I'm sure as you've seen, the way my decay works, it spreads outwards from my hands the further I touch, or the longer I touch. But if I force my decay up more, I can basically spread it throughout any direction I want. Now, with that, I can also basically make it go faster, or even, quite simply, just force it forwards as much as I can. Now, with that being said, All Might, he got a little too close. I can tell you the story. Oh, I'd rather just have the long short of it. All Might got a little too close, and I took out his legs first. After that, he was just lying on the ground, crying and begging for his former master. After that, I took his head, chopped it clean off with a knife, and gave it to Ingenium the next day. Sick and twisted. I love it. Now, I need you to... Well, I guess it's time we have a proper business meeting. Oh, alright. As Kage would open a portal in the nearby alley. Deku and everyone else would just walk through. As they do so, they would immediately find that they are in Overhaul's base. Now, Overhaul would just begin by saying that this is his men. Now, as Deku, he's basically brought in. Everyone in front of him is somewhat just, who are these people? And as soon as Deku throws off his hood, they are immediately confused. How did he... Don't worry about it. Now then, what is this little business endeavor you called us here for? Well, you see... I've been told that you've been trying to look for something of the sort in the underworld. Quirk enhancers, quirk amplifiers, and whatever else is coordinated with anything under that sort of category. Yes, I have. Why? Well, it's just somewhat confusing to me. You have this powerful quirk, but not being able to use it at its maximum, it's somewhat dull. I understand what you mean, but dull doesn't even compare to what I've been thinking. Pretty sure I could take out a whole city. I just need a couple of seconds. If not, at least I would have to be alone. None of my men nearby at all. Otherwise, I could take them all out with me, or take them all down along with the city. So, you don't go all out in order to protect your people. Respectful, but somewhat annoying. I understand. Now, Deku, him and Overhaul would be talking, and eventually, it'd be brought up that not only does Deku, or does Overhaul have the access to making quirk enhancers, he would also hold up a case and just say he has these little things. He believes they would be a good business partners, because these little things, they call them quirk destroyers. Quirk destroyers. You have my interest, Overhaul. Continue. Well, I know that for a fact. What is it? Endeavor. He is still in the hospital, I believe. Yeah, Dobby kind of went a little crazy. He kind of just nearly executed him. Anyways, what's your point? Well, Endeavor, he was supposed to be getting a press conference today. If not, the next day. He turned it down, and I would really love it if you just walk in, show him that, hey, I'm King Nothing, and then drag him to a public place where he would be forced to use his quirk. hit him with one of these, and he will just stop working. His body will not shut down, but only his quirk will. In fact, should be permanent. Permanent. Yeah. We also have these little ones. As he would hold up the three, essentially the one that would last only a couple weeks. These, they're temporary. Hit him with one of these ones. The permanent ones, they're harder to manufacture. As he would toss over a case of the 3-week quirk erasing bullets. Alright. I think I know what we should do. Now, with that, Deku, he would immediately just somewhat peer into the future, seeing exactly how the plan gets executed and where it goes wrong. He would immediately turn around to Overhaul, saying, "By the way, you do know one thing, right? My quirk, Eraserheads and Night Eyes, I can erase quirks for up to 24 hours. But public knowledge that I'm not only using my quirk, the fact that I could just say my blood makes these, that would be very useful, correct? What more information did you dig up on us?" "Nothing. Nothing, in fact. I'm just saying. I could say these are manufactured using my blood, since a lot of my people know that. In fact, I believe surveillance on that prison shows it too, me erasing the hero's quirks. So, you want to fake people into believing that a man so deep in the underworld has the ability to not only destroy quirks, erase them for an entire day, but he also just wants to show that he's not afraid to walk into daylight. Yes, in fact, that's exactly what I'm saying. Alright, have at it." As Deku, him and Overhaul would just part ways. Now, they would immediately begin the operation to go kill Endeavor. As Deku, Shinsho, Kirishima, and Mina, they would all be portaled away. Now, I want to say Mina, she's about... Yeah, I believe she'd be about... I placed her at about 50. So I want to say she'd be at 55 to 65 maximum strain on her body. And let us begin. Deku, he would immediately begin by walking into the hospital room as people would see all these four. They are immediately confused as Deku would go on saying, "They're here to visit the number one hero. Are you fans of his?" He's not accepting visitors right now. In fact, no one has come to visit him. So what would your relation to be with him? Oh, well, you see, as Deku would just pull up his hood, and the nurse immediately has a shocked look on her face, and before she can even scream, Deku just shouts, "I'm King Nothing," as he immediately just basically hops over the counter, and immediately just kills the nurse. Now, security guards and police officers who are in the building, they would all begin by starting to actually shoot at them, but Kirishima would just tackle through them with... He'd basically just be running through their gunfire with his hardened skin as he just starts impaling and stabbing through all of them. As Shinsho's just basically blasting his way forward and through them, basically being behind Kirishima. Basically opening fire with his AP shots whenever he can possible. And actually just using them like that. Mina, she's basically just running through and disarming everyone, as she's having quite a bit of fun. Now, after that happened, Mina would immediately just hand Deku a gun, as Deku just pulls... He would just empty the magazine and take the bullet out of the chamber. he would immediately just open the case as he puts in a quirk-destroying bullet. No, he puts in the quirk-erasing bullet, the one that lasts for 3 weeks. I'm too used to calling them quirk destroyers. Now, with that, he would immediately just watch as Endeavor comes barreling through the door. In fact, he is holding Kirishima, and he's actually somewhat struggling with his one arm. Ah, Endeavor. How's the number one hero doing? You bastard. You killed my son. And? What? You ashamed you couldn't finish the job yourself? How dare you? What? Ugh, don't know where the guy's mom is, but whatever happened to her? Did you kill her, Mr. Endeavor? Naughty, naughty hero. As Endeavor would immediately just throw Kirishima and start barreling his way towards Deku. Deku, he would just immediately turn around as he just waves off Endeavor and immediately just begins running. Now, Endeavor is chasing him down as Mina, she would come out from behind a door and she would immediately just come in, punching Endeavor in the back as he gets sent flying. He goes barreling through as they are now in the street. Deku, he always watches Endeavor just basically gets out from the side of a truck and he stands back up as he starts charging and actually making the entire air around him covered in fire. He would just say that, "You are not going to win." Well, that's where you're wrong. As Deku, he would immediately just bring up the gun, and before he can do anything, he would just immediately just cover his leg in a tornado, basically, and just move to the left. He would move fast enough to where Endeavor cannot keep his eyes on him, along with Mina, who's basically just coming in and going for light strikes very fast. Now, with that, Endeavor is starting to cough up blood as Deku, he would finally just walk up to Endeavor. He would just shoot him in the neck with this thing, as Endeavor's fire stops covering his face. Now, people are watching as Endeavor cannot use his quirk. Deku would just start saying one thing. "Everybody, look at the number one hero for me. What is wrong with him? He's not covered in fire. You can see his face." Exactly. This little invention is called the Quirk Destroyer. Endeavor is now quirkless. Not just that. These little puppies, they're made of a little special mix. Not just any. They're made from my blood, in fact. Refined, reformed, and with just a little pull of the trigger. A hero who cannot use his quirk. What does that make him? As Deku would walk over and just look at Endeavor. It makes you human. As he would just turn around walking away. Mina would just immediately walk forward as she would cover her hand in black whip, somewhat forming it into a blade. She would just bring it up saying, "You know, I never understood you. Todoroki, your human super weapon. What ever happened to that? Do you want to know a little something? He wasn't the one who killed your son. I was." As Mina would immediately just cock her hand backwards and slice her hand forwards, chopping off Endeavor's head. Now, before I leave everyone, I would just like to explain one thing. Hero Society. Whatever happens with that? A cancer just tearing its way through anyone in front of it. Now, with that, you guys call quirks heroic or villainous. But look at us. Pretty sure our quirks could be considered heroic, but look how we're using them. Because, as she would just bring her hands up, covering her eyes, we are the villains. You are all blind to what you see. Now, Mina, she would just immediately just hold up her hand as she turns around. She just cocks her hand backwards as she just throws her fist forwards. As soon as she does so, she basically just takes out the city block in front of her. Now, Shinsho is actually watching this, along with Kirishima, and Deku would just see her doing this. Ah, I believe that takes care of the police force. Now, let us go. As they would just walk behind an alley. Cops begin cornering them, and they would just have reports that they've cornered the villains. Not just that, they have authority to kill now because of what happened. As soon as they would go through the alley, they would find no one is there, which confuses and frightens quite a lot of people. They saw the villains walk into the alley. No way out, other than that one exit. Now then, that is where I'm going to be leaving things off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys later.